Good Thursday evening, Western Washington. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the forecast for the next couple of days and a recap on this storm. So let's start with that storm recap here. So we are taking a look at the satellite imagery. If you're watching my live stream last night, this will look familiar to you. As you can see, the storm was offshore, and take a look at how the storm makes landfall right here over the northern Oregon coast. Then you see it swing up through western Washington and then up into British Columbia while weakening. And then you see our next storm that's going to be impacting parts of Oregon moving into the area already. So if we go back here to the storm making landfall, you can see it makes landfall right there around Astoria. That's why the storm's winds were weaker than expected, because the storm was making landfall near Astoria when the forecast showing the strongest winds had it making landfall near Forks. So that's a pretty big difference. That's like nearly 200 miles of the coast there. And you can see that is why the stronger pressure gradient was to the south of the storm, and with the storm making landfall further south than predicted, those stronger winds failed to materialize for some of western Washington. So we can take a look here at some of the peak wind gusts. You can see that Dungeness Lighthouse there hit 51 miles per hour. In Grays Harbor County, Hoquiam hit 58. Whidbey Island Naval Air Station hit 60 miles per hour, and in King County, there's SeaTac hit 49, Bellevue 43, Federal Way 41, Des Moines 41, and then you can see in Pierce County, Tacoma Narrows there 51 miles per hour, and then you had 53 at Friday Harbor, and only 31 there in Everett, and then 62 in Bellingham. So overall weaker than expected, but as I just talked about, that would be why. And also can't forget that 48 in Olympia as well. So overall weaker storm because it moved in further south. That did spare us a more damaging hit from this windstorm. So let's take a look into the future here. You can see the remnants of this storm moving off into British Columbia and Alberta. You can see the next storm that's going to move into southern Oregon tonight. There's going to be some strong winds for southern Oregon and northern California. With this storm, not much of an impact for western Washington. Another storm's going to spin up here and move into central Vancouver Island while weakening. This could bring some brief winds to western Washington on Saturday. And then we have some more activity moving through on Sunday before we start to have some ridging that will bring mostly dry conditions on Monday and Tuesday, hopefully to ring in the new year, and then we're going to have more rain moving in as we move from 2024 into 2025 there, and it looks like we may have an active start to the new year. So taking a look at precipitation, you can see our storm moves out of the area today. This next storm moves into Oregon, spreading precipitation across Washington early tomorrow morning, bringing more heavy rain at times and mountain snow, turning showery by the afternoon, but the next system is right on its heels, bringing that next system starts to bring widespread rain by Friday evening, so you only have a few hours break in there with more heavy mountain snow as well. That turns showery by the time we get to Saturday morning, and then the next system moves into the area by Sunday morning there, but this system's a little bit more focused on Oregon, so Sunday morning you get a brief round of precipitation, continuing through the evening, more mountain snow. That turns showery by Monday morning, and then you have a brief little system bringing some showers potentially Monday into Tuesday, some showers on the coast on New Year's Eve, and then it looks like we will get the rain going again on the coast as we strike midnight there on New Year's, and then across the whole area by mid-morning on New Year's Day. And then there could be a lot more rain behind this as well, atmospheric river potential as well to start 2025. So let's take a look at precipitation through New Year's. So as we go through tomorrow, you can see in the morning that precipitation increases. A brief round of rain before heavier rain moves in Friday evening there. You can see as we go out through Saturday into Sunday, more systems move through the area before it starts to taper by the time we get to Tuesday there. So by New Year's Eve around 10 p.m., total rain we're looking at is an additional inch for Seattle, up to 1.5 inches for Tacoma and Olympia, and the Kitsap Peninsula near 2 inches there. Coast getting additional 1.5 to 2 inches. Rain shadow, they're getting 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, up to an inch by the Canadian border. And then we take a look at mountain snow as well. Each of these systems will bring more mountain snow, so travel over the passes will be difficult at times. Snoqualmie Pass closed 2 times today. You can see as we go through Saturday and Sunday, more heavy mountain snow. and that tapers by the time we get to Tuesday. So through New Year's Eve there, you can see an additional 20 inches or so at Snoqualmie Pass, with 20 to 30 inches more at Stevens and White Passes there. So travel will be difficult through the passes, especially on parts of Friday and sometime on Saturday, and especially on Sunday. So heads up for that if you are crossing the state for the holiday travel. And this is good news for our snowpack, but it can be difficult to travel through, that's for sure. So another thing to look at here is that I mentioned it earlier, brief shot of wind on Saturday morning here. This is the European model. You can see it shows gusts of 45 to 50 miles per hour along the coast, and then in the interior, gusts of 35 to 45 miles per hour. Looks to be strongest from Seattle northward up toward the San Juans there, and maybe on the Kitsap Peninsula, 45 miles per hour. If we take a look at this on the higher resolution NAM model, you can see it also shows gusts of 45 to 50 miles per hour on the coast. And then through the interior here, you could see gusts of 40 to 45 miles per hour, including 42 there in Seattle and 43 there in the Whidbey Island area, and potentially a little bit of a westerly surge down the strait, but that mainly impacts parts of southern Vancouver Island. So overall, not too notable of a wind event. The one thing to pay attention to would be these gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour showing up for Stevens Pass, Snoqualmie Pass, and White Pass there, because that could cause some blowing snow and travel difficulties. But that looks like the biggest impact from this run-of-the-mill wind event there. Just a breezy day at times. Some areas will be windy there on Saturday. So I want to take a look at this. Looking into the new year here, this is the European model ensemble for SeaTac Airport. You can see you have the control run and then all 50 ensemble members. This is showing total rain from now all the way through January 10th. You can see when we're looking down here at this graph, the ensemble average shows about 6 inches of rain for Seattle through January 10th. However, the control run is a little bit on the wetter side, showing nearly 8 inches. And that is because there is some atmospheric river potential in here. You can see some of these higher ensemble members there that have bigger rain totals over 7 inches. So that, just keep that in mind, that it is surely going to be active. We have this break here between Monday and Tuesday there into Wednesday before we start 2025 with a whole lot more rain. So we got a few more days to go here with some active weather, then a brief break for New Year's, and then a lot more coming up. And a similar trend is reflected at Snoqualmie Pass. Take some of these amounts with a grain of salt here, because I expect Snoqualmie Pass will get nearly 2 feet of new snow by the time we get to New Year's. However, beyond New Year's, with some atmospheric river potential, these snow amounts may not be actually growing too much, as this could be more of rain falling depending on the snow levels there, but at least 2 feet of snow is a good bet for Snoqualmie Pass. So as always, you can subscribe to me here on YouTube. Thank you to all of my new subscribers who joined during the live stream yesterday. It was great to do that, and I had a lot of fun. We were able to get some great communication about the storm. Even though it didn't materialize as we were expecting, it was still great to get so many people engaged with the weather here in Western Washington. You can also join the Western Washington Weather Facebook group, which just yesterday passed 1,000 members, and you can follow me on Blue Sky and Twitter. So thank you all for watching. I will talk to you all tomorrow.